their catch. So, let's move on to number 7. Number 7, I have to say, this was one of the tougher rankings for me when it came to ranking the Best Picture nominees. Because with this film, I was really debating whether to put this one at number 7 or number 6. And I am putting this one at number 7 instead of number 6, because even though I like this movie more than I like my number 6, I will admit that this movie was very manipulative. This is a very manipulative movie, and I had to say, wait, they wouldn't be right to say that this was better than my number 6 film. And that film is The Theory of Everything. Now, The Theory of Everything, it tells the story of Stephen Hawking. It starts with him as a student in Cambridge going for his doctorate in physics. And the film starts with the day he meets his first wife, Jane Hawking. And what it is, the film is about mainly their relationship. The core of this movie is a love story at its core. It mainly explores their relationship, their marriage, how his disease basically started putting so much strain on them. And let's move on to the positives with this film, because I do have to say there is a number one positive in this film that makes this film so good, and that is the acting. The leads of Eddie Redmayne as Stephen Hawking and Felicity Jones as Jane Hawking, they're both so great in their roles. Eddie Redmayne, my God, he's not even allowed to speak, really, for a good part of this movie, because the film starts before the motor neuron disease, the disease Stephen Hawking has that basically made him just immobile. And it's the disease that is the reason you were doing your ice bucket challenge this summer. So if you're wondering what disease exactly was I supporting, it was that one. And my God, so during for 30 minutes of the movie he's allowed to talk. Then an hour and a half he talks much less, because he starts getting much more slurred, much more hard to speak voice, he speaks less and less. Then it's only to the last, and I was surprised by this, it's only really the last 30 minutes he just doesn't speak at all, and he gets to the famous computer voice, which we all associate with Stephen Hawking nowadays. And he does such a great job. All his scenes, actually I thought when he could speak he was a bit obnoxious, but after, strangely enough, the worse he got, I thought the worse his condition got, I thought the better his acting was. Especially when he couldn't speak at all. Just he had to do all the emotion from his eyes, and he did just such a fantastic job. I hear people who said he had hands down the easiest performance to act this year. He had probably the hardest performance to act this year, because he had to make a character emotional. He had to emote without being able to speak for a good part of it. And because of that, he is amazing. Also, Felicity Jones. Felicity Jones, I don't know her from anything. Before I walked into this, I knew about Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne, he was in My Week with Marilyn. I thought he was actually really bad in that. But then he was in Les Miserables, which I actually thought was pretty good in. So I wasn't sure how he would turn out in this movie, but he did a great job. Felicity Jones, who plays Jane Hawking, I don't know her from anything, just nothing. So I had no opinions about this actress going in. But I will say this: she is just as good as Redmayne. Considering and even though she can speak the entire movie, she just does such a good job, just showing the strain on this poor woman, because she blows a man who basically can't help at all, she has to take care of. There's all these really sad scenes when you see her trying to take care of their kids, and Stephen Hawking at the same time, and Stephen can't be of any help, only she can. You see the strain and misery that this woman went through, and it's pretty amazing. And even they're just how much she refuses to give up on this man is just amazing. Like, there was a point, like, when Stephen Hawking, he was on, like, his deathbed, and, it was, like, she was basically given the choice to either, like, make it, like, he can live, but he will never speak again, or she could just let him die just right there, and, like, as some people would argue, like, put him out of his misery, but she refused to, and she is just incredible in this role. Her and Redmayne have actually really great chemistry as the film goes on, and they are by far the highlight of the film. I will also say the music's really good. I think the original score is about to win the best original score for the Oscars. I think that's what people have been saying. Music's really good. It's shot incredibly well. One of the most interesting things about the film is the theory of everything. It refers to the whole idea of Stephen Hawking that the idea of his want to make a theory that would basically explain the beginning of the universe, and which he has not succeeded in. But like basically, like the whole idea is even like if he could make that, like theoretically we could turn back time then, like. And there's actually some really great imagery for the fact that like he like dreams to like turn back time, like especially the final shot of the movie. I won't say what it is, but actually like the final shot with the idea of turning back time, it's actually a really beautiful image, and definitely ended the film on a high note. And so I've only been saying positive, so why can't I say, why is this number 7? This is why. This was my fear walking to the film. When I saw the trailer, I was just thinking, this is going to be the most manipulative movie I can imagine. It's gonna be so corny, so over the top, just do anything you can to get a tear out of the audience. I just thought that was gonna be the movie. And I will admit, it's not that way for the entirety of the film, but it is a pretty good part of it. I mean, the first third in particular, the first third is the hardest part to get through. If you can get through that first third, second and third, the other 2/3 are great. They get better and better as it goes on. But like the first third is where it was the film I was dreading this movie would be when I walked into that theater, because it gave me exactly what I was fearing. There's just lines like when they like. Well, here's the issues. It's before, I would say the 3/3 are, the first third is when he first meets Jane and they start making relationship together and they start to learn about the motor neuron disease. Second third would be like their marriage and like the good parts, and the final third would be like the eventual like collapse of their marriage. Yes, but that first third was really hard because one, Redmayne could speak, and the issue is with a disease like motor neuron disease, this was a hard thing to show like subtly, and how do they do it? Simply put, they don't. This is so over the top when they try to show like the early signs of it. Like literally, would just be like random scenes, like when he just drops a pencil, let me just move this down here for a sec. Wait, no, that's a bit too, whatever, sorry. Okay, fine, I'll just show it, like, say the pencil was right here, and I was, like, trying to grab it, he would just go, like, okay, oh my god, oh, Jesus, what was that? I don't know. But, it's literally like that. It's so overdramatic, and oh my god, the dialogue in the first third. My breaking point almost came when it was in the trailer. The line when Felicity Jones says, "God bless her for trying to make this sound serious," because this is so sappy. Like there's just a line when her family's like, Jane, maybe you don't want to get hitched to Steven. I mean, the man's got like 2 years to live, so this isn't like cancer. You can't fight this disease. He will just die of it, and that will be it. And then she's like, "You may not think I'm a strong woman, but I love him and he loves me." Sure, people say that all the time, don't they? They say stuff like that, but after they get married, the film gets much more restrained with the corniness, and it gets much better. This is definitely one of those films where the actors were better than the scriptwriters. It is unfortunate. This could have honestly been one of the best biopics if there was a better scriptwriter behind this film. And here's my other major issue with the film. Some people may take issue. Wasn't one of my issues. Some people may take. Sorry. may take issue with the fact that it never like delves into like his work or like his theories and how he came up with them. Really, personally, that does annoy me because I'm like, look, if you want to explain that, that would literally have to be like a 5-hour documentary, and like there would be no plot or character. They would just have to spend the entire time explaining. Yeah, we should not. It's a biopic. We have to. It's in the movie about the person's life, not really their work. And like I said, it's the love story. It's a love story between him and Stephen and Jane Hawking. And so, but here's my other major issue. It's the fact that it really, like I said, and not that it's just corny. It really kind of fucks with these two stories. People's stories to try to make them seem more dramatic. What I mean by this, like, it seems they try to make Stephen Hawking seem like less of a bastard when it came to his marriage, and Jane Hawking more of a bastard. So you're kind of like leveled these two characters out. So we're just like, oh, so the audience would be like, Jane Hawking was the much better of the two when it came to their marriage. Because for example, like, there's, like, this whole thing, like, one of, Jane Hawking, after she divorced Stephen Hawking, this is real life, by the way, she ended up marrying who was originally one of Stephen Hawking's first, nurses, John, I don't remember what the guy's last name is, and like basically like the two of them did go on record admitting they did have feelings for each other while he was caring for Stephen, but like they never acted on those feelings. They never had an affair by any means. Yet like in this movie though, if you don't know the story, they really make it seem like they were having an affair. I mean, my God, like. This is a movie, I think they were just, like, real, like, they basically just said, like, but here's the thing, they never show it, and I think that's just what they were saying, like, the director was like, look, let's just imply to the highest degree they were having an affair without literally showing it, because, like, there's, like, a scene, like, when, like, Steven's, like, not near them, like, they're camping, and Steven's not there, because he can't do any camping or anything like that, and then, like, Jane's in, like, is in a tent with their kids, and, John's, like, in a separate tent sleeping, and then, like, till one night, like, Jane, like, goes outside, she's like, is anyone there? Anyone? And then she goes over to the door, like, to John's tent, just like, John, you there, John? And then it just cuts. Now, tell me, what would an average audience member think happened between the cut and when it cuts back to Jane? That what went down between those two if you don't know the real story. So, that was really annoying. The other major annoyance, they kind of made Stephen look like less of a bastard when it came to their marriage. If you don't know the story, Stephen Hawking, he ended up having an affair with one of his nurses and ended up leaving Jane because of that. They show his nurse. They show him having his nurse, but they never show them having an affair with one another. And I'm pretty sure they did have an affair while he was married to Jane. And yeah, no, they just cut that. They just they show like him like falling in love with her, but they don't like show him having an affair or anything like that. And so that was I felt really annoying. And finally, like the final thing, I will say this though, there's a very brilliant line like near the end of the movie where he decides to leave Jane, and he has a great line when he says, "I was only supposed to live for 2 years," because Stephen Hawking, when he was originally diagnosed with the disease, he was only supposed to have 2 years to live, and he lived for so many more years. And the theory of everything. So what are the pluses? Fantastic performances, really good cinematography, a really nice score. It does have some very emotional moments. What are the bads? First third's very corny. It manipulated the hell out of these two stories to try to make it seem more like you can like go with either side with the two characters. And so because of that, I will actually give this film 2 scores. If you are not at all annoyed by how they screw with historical content, I would give this film a 4 out of 5. I am keeping the stars this way. I am not ever going to edit stars in. It will always be drawn paper. But if you are one of those people who can get annoyed by like me, like when I'm just annoyed when I can tell a film is just manipulating the story to try to like be like more dramatic. I give this film 3.5 stars out of 5. Oh, I should have figured this would be reversed when. Oh, whatever. 3.5 out of 5. Definitely worth a watch if you want to watch it. It's a very good movie, very charming. And considering the fact I thought I was gonna hate this movie walking into it, the fact that I got that positive response from me is saying something. So, go see it if you want. Tomorrow it's number 6.